There isn't any script I'm going off of for this. I don't have a document next to me, no pages, nothing on my monitor, nothing on my PC. Just my sheer disappointment in this year's Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 3. 2023, out of the trilogy, maybe the last Modern Warfare 3, or excuse me, the last Modern Warfare game to come out. I don't know, but I will touch on that later on in this rambling review video. Just my sheer disappointment in this game, in the campaign, I should preface. So yeah, with all that being said, ladies and gents, welcome to another rambling review. This time around, I am rambling / ranting on this year's Call of Duty campaign, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, by Sledgehammer Games this time around, not Infinity Ward, the progenitors for Modern Warfare. No, it's the keys are now in Sledgehammer Games' hand, and for the most part, for the multiplayer side at least, pretty freaking good. No, going by the beta, but the campaign, no, this is what this about. This is what this video is about. The campaign. So yeah, sorry if things are going to be a little bit jumbled during this video. I just did it. I don't know what to say. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter, but a little bit distorted at the same time than my Final Fantasy 16 rambling review I did earlier this year. But I just had to get this off my chest because I'm someone who really loves Call of Duty. I mean, laugh all you want, but Call of Duty is my second favorite video game franchise. My number one's being Halo. I really love Call of Duty. Their campaigns, their multiplayer. I've always argued that Call of Duty's campaigns, the overwhelming majority of Call of Duty campaigns are legit great. They range from, like, you know, on like an IGA scale of 8 out of 10 to like a high 9 in my personal opinion. From the original 3 Modern Warfare games to Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. We got Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare's campaign. We have freaking the underrated, but I thought really good Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War campaign. Like, I personally believe that the majority of them are pretty freaking good. So yeah, before we get started with this video, you know what to do. Leave a like, show some support, please. Subscribe for more content. Helps about this channel a lot. When you do, hit that notification bell and set those notifications to all. Share my channel and my videos to all your friends, families, cats and dogs, and whoever who not. And you guys can all follow me on Twitter at Baytuh, Baytuh. If you want to support me further, you can do that by donating to my Patreon, PayPal, YouTube Super Thanks, leaving a tip, or becoming a YouTube member on my channel. That's patreon.com/Baytuh, Baytuh, and or paypal.me/Baytuh, Baytuh, and or the YouTube Super Thanks. All you have to do is click on any one of my videos that are monetized, which is 99.9% of them. Then hit the little money heart thanks button to donate however much you want. But regardless how you choose to support me further, any and all donations are much appreciated, and it's 100% completely optional. Alright, with all that being said, let's just fucking do this.
Stay tight. Rog, no movement.
Alright, before I go off the cuff and talk about all of the negative aspects, that's gonna, you know, take a while. I'm not gonna go into like a too deep dive. Like I said, this is rambling rant, just getting this off my chest. There are some positives with this game, some positives, some very little with this campaign, but yeah, they are some, and one of them is the cinematography, the cinematics, the performance capture, the voiceover, all of it very beautifully done. I think ever since Advanced Warfare back in 2013, like, the acting, all of it has just been off the charts when it comes to Call of Duty. It's always been a treat to go back and rewatch all the cutscenes for Call of Duty games, and you know what, I actually will do it for this game too, because it's just enjoyable to watch all the actors just, you know, performing and whatnot. It definitely, when it comes to the cutscenes, the audio, like, it's all pretty freaking well done. So I mean, it was well done in Modern Warfare 2019, 2022, Black Ops Cold War. Heck, even, you know, some of my least favorites recently, like Vanguard and World War II. It's all very enjoyable to watch and just take all in. Like, I think all the Call of Duty devs have nailed that out of the park. I think the another thing that is a big positive is the gun gunplay, the gameplay, the feeling of controlling the characters in the game, which, you know, of course, because it's Sledgehammer Games is going off, I mean, it's all based off, you know, Sledgehammer Games, you know, Modern Warfare 3 instead of what Infinity Ward did with Modern Warfare 2. Everything feels a lot lighter, a lot more quicker, in my personal opinion, which is pretty good. The guns feel amazing like usual, so there's no complaints there. And last but not least, which is going to sound weird because this is going to pop up again in the negatives, but it's going to be seen as a double-edged sword, and you're going to find out why in the negative section. But the open combat missions, and the only part I could really say positive about that is the level of freedom that you get during those missions. Like, you could legit tackle, I mean, Far Cry style, you know, Far Cry 3, 4, 5 style. You could tackle these missions however you want. You want to go all gillied up during these open combat missions, you could do that. If you want to go balls to the walls, guns freaking blazing like it's Army of 2, I guess technically Army of 1 because you'd usually do it solo in this game, you can do that. So I really do appreciate the freedom that you do, like true freedom you get during these open combat missions. And I think that's legit it for all the positives I have to say about the game, or about the campaign at least. Alrighty, onward to the negatives. And the biggest negative with this game, or not the biggest, I mean, there's a lot of biggest negatives I have with this game, but one of them are, I don't want to be this guy. I hate being this guy. I hate seeing it online on Twitter /X stupid freaking name, on YouTube, where have you done. I don't like seeing this, but this year in particular, Call of Duty campaign, the campaign in particular, not multiplayer, the campaign in particular feels like DLC for Modern Warfare 2 2022 that came out last year. I hate being that guy, but it just feels that way, and which is kind of funny, or not funny, depending how you look at it. Originally, if I'm not mistaken, this game was supposed to be an expansion for last year's Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare 2 2022. But of course, Bobby Kotick, that monster asshole, and Activision, doing Activision stuff, decided to split it up and decided to make it a full-fledged $70 full release Call of Duty game. It feels like that because I think Sledgehammer Games only had a 1-year turnaround for the campaign and whatnot, because the missions do feel like tacked on DLC and expansion for Call of Duty. So this is here. Oh man, here we go. Here comes the ramble. Here comes the ramble. Because it's hard for me to continue this point without stepping on the toes on another point. But I'll get to that point, and this is just a whole ramble, a whole rant. All right, I'll come back to this point in a quick second. Okay, so let's put a pin in that. Let's go back to what I said in the positive, the double-edged sword about the the open combat missions, and I'll get back to the whole Call of Duty Finland DLC, MWIII Finland DLC in a moment. So let's put a pin in that. Okay, moving over to the open combat mission. It was in my positives because I did say that the open combat missions did feel, you know, I did enjoy how much freedom that they give you. It's a double-edged sword, and why I feel like it's a double-edged sword is because it doesn't feel like Call of Duty. And what I mean by that is, while yes, it's awesome having that freedom of movement, tackling these missions how you want, having those missions be more than half of the missions in the campaign in a 3.5 hour campaign is not good. If it was like 1 or 2 missions, like the first open combat mission you play as Captain Price was really fun, or the one you play as Soap infiltrating that one island to get that one lady was really fun as well. If it was like just those two, I would have been okay with it, but it's not. Like it feels like Battlefield missions in the recent Battlefield games 1 and 5, not 2042, but 1 and 5. Like in those games, they do have quote unquote a lot of open. I think either all or the majority of those missions of those games are open combat missions where you drop in this area, you have a wide enough sandbox playing field to tackle objectives how you want in whichever order. Then you have a big main objective to go to, and there'll be like a cinematic or a big set piece, the boom, Battlefield. Like that's Battlefield's MO for the last few years. That's not Call of Duty. I don't mind Call of Duty doing that, but for it to take up half of the missions, half of the campaign, it loses its identity. Like there's no Call of Duty's campaigns are, a lot of them have their big moment, the big over the top set piece bonanza, OG COD 4, we had all gilly up. And last year's Call of Duty Duty campaign, we have playing as guys on the road chasing to get I was about to say Laswell back, jumping from car to car. That was really fun. It ran pretty long, but it was still, you know, the set pieces and whatnot. You know, we had the rooftop jumping in the OG Black Ops 1. Like, we have those over the top set pieces. In Advanced Warfare, we had, you know, the car jumping with your exosuit. Freaking awesome. Call of Duty doesn't have that this year, but we do have another freaking AC-130 mission, guys. Like, really? Like, I get it. AC-130 missions are iconic or great and great. We've had AC-130 missions, I think, for these last 3 Call of Duty games. Like, we had it in Modern Warfare 2019, we had it in Modern Warfare 2 2022, and we had it, now we're having it this time around. Like, why? We don't need this many AC-130 missions. It is very unnecessary, in my personal opinion. It starts losing its luster, it starts losing its appeal, and you most definitely feel it. Like, this AC-130 mission is just a whatever mission. Hey, you're in the AC-130, support the ground team, blow shit up. Nothing really special about it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, like, it sucks that the majority of the missions are like this because, like I said, I added the footnote at the end of my positives that the beginning mission, Operation 627, that was a really good mission. Then we jump into Farah's open combat mission. I'm like, oh, that was jarring. Like, what the fuck? Then we kept doing. It's just like, man, the on-rail missions is Call of Duty's bread and butter, and when they hit, those missions are legit really good. Like Operation 627, playing as Soap, hunting down Makarov, and Verdansk, which I'm gonna get to in a quick second. Actually, you know what? I'll get to it right now. To add on to this, my issue with open combat missions in this game, ladies and gents, everyone, is that they're just, you know, again, those open combat missions, you're just completing these open combat missions, or they're basically just Warzone objectives / spec up missions on Warzone maps. Like, it's very boring. Here's Verdansk again, completing these random objectives that you see in spec ops and in Warzone. It's just like, come the freak on. Like, really? Defuse 4 bombs and then boom, and you know, that's it. That was the last one with Ghost. It's like, come on, man. That's just really boring. What's the first one? The first one with Farah called Urzenstand or whatever. Like, there's that. It's just, man, like, there's no cool locations or, like, you know, gorgeous locations you go to do these open combat missions. They're just Warzone maps, ground war battle maps with spec ops and Warzone objectives. It's just so cookie cutter. It's just very unfortunate. So yeah, moving on to that. Sorry, again, rambling, just getting my thoughts out because I just gotta get this off my chest. All right, last certainly but not least, my last criticism for this game is campaign, the story, characters, the Warzone integration. It's just, oh boy. Like, all right, let me just freaking break it down for all you guys. We can take a pin out of that first negativity I said about Modern Warfare 3's campaign, where I said that it feels like DLC for Modern Warfare 2. I really hate saying that, but it really does. And you know, we should start by the campaign. The story feels very rushed. The pacing's all over the place. It feels like it ends it feels like we're at the middle of the story where it ends. Like, hey, spoilers, Soap dies. Makarov chromes Soap in the dome and he's dead, and Makarov gets away scot-free, and Captain Price and Gaz can't do anything about it because they're busy defusing a bomb, and Ghost can't go after him because he gets there late, and that's it. There's no crescendo, no revenge arc. There's no like, hey Ghost, hey Gaz, let's freaking juggernaut it up and go after Makarov. There's none of that. There's not a revenge arc to go after Makarov. There's none. There's not a you know, hunting down General Shepard or Shepard and Shadow Company from OG Modern Warfare 2. There's none of that. Again, it doesn't have to be a one-to-one. I don't want it doesn't need to be like a one-to-one comparison or one-to-one, you know, thing copying what the OGs did, but there's none of that. Like, Gaz, Price, and Ghost hold a small memorial with the 3 of them honoring Soap. Laswell, God, I keep wanting to say Laswell. Laswell types something on the computer, and Price kills Shepard, which I have that's just something I have issues with how they did his characters in this in the trilogy, but I digress on that for a moment. But yeah, that's it, which is very disappointing. Like there's no continuation, unfortunately, and that's why I say it feels like rushed, because again, outside of those very few missions that I talked about, it feels like we're fast moving, jumping back and forth, not enough to see the ultimate terror that Makarov, brings devastation onto everyone. It's just like the normal stuff like a Call of Duty villain does, but not like, you remember the ad campaign for Modern Warfare 3 where it used to be, it switches from World War 3 to just to Modern Warfare 3? That was freaking dope. And the speech that Makarov gives and whatnot, like that shit is awesome. There's really none of that. He's just like another villain in the Modern Warfare trilogy. That's it. Really nothing special other than he's Makarov and he's the ultimate threat. It doesn't feel like it. He just feels like the last two villains from the last two Call of Duty games, but that's just, the last two Modern Warfare games, I should say. And, that's it. But that's unfortunate. But I'm about to say something that that might have me sound a little dumb. And stick with me. I have reasoning behind this. I am not 100% certain that our boy, dearly beloved Soap is actually dead. Ghost's best boy is actually dead. Like, real talk. I'm 85% sure he's dead. Reason being, in the last Modern Warfare game that came out last year, Greaves, he's back in this game. He came back during a season. What was it? Season 5 or something of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022? He's back. After we blew him up in a tank, he survived. Not only that, which is a WTF moment I had when I saw this new season trailer, he aligned himself with Farah and Alex, who are very close allies, kind of like honorary members of Task Force 141. What the fuck? Does Price and Laswell not talk to Farah and Alex about Shadow Company, Greaves, and Shepard's betrayal? Like, not only that, Farah, aligns herself with Shepard as well in this game. If I'm not mistaken, because I'm trying to forget most of this game because it's such a disappointment the campaign is. Multiplayer, I'm still holding out hope. It seems pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, Greaves and Shepard, or at least Greaves betrays Farah in this game, and Greaves and Shepard betray each other. Try to in that one Senate hearing or whatever in the cutscene, like they turn on each other. It's just like, what and why? And this is like one of my issues with this game, is that like, as someone who just pays attention to just only the campaign side of things of the Call of Duty stories, not barely any of the Warzone stuff. I only catch glimpses of the cutscenes or the trailer cutscenes of whatever cinematics on secondhand, offhand on like Twitter or YouTube or whatever. Like, it's very jarring. Like, characters coming back, characters dying, in Warzone, they're coming back as major allies in the next game. Like, and that goes to my next, adding on to this, my issue with the Warzone story integration with the main campaign of Call of Duty. Like, on paper that might have sounded like a good idea, and this might sound like a unpopular opinion, but I felt like it's a bad idea. Like, if anything, they should have done it like, I guess, how 343 used to do it with Halo Infinite's campaign and multiplayer story, where the main base campaign of Halo Infinite, we have Big Boy, Green Big Boy, Master Chief on Zeta Halo with the weapon, with the pilot, fighting the banish, and find out the mysteries on Zeta Halo. That's it. Then we also had the multiplayer storyline with our Spartans that, it takes place during whatever Master Chief is doing on Zeta Halo, but it doesn't directly affect what he's doing on Zeta Halo. Like, our multiplayer Spartans up doing their own thing, and maybe if 343 decides to continue the multiplayer story of Halo Infinite, maybe in a year or so, our Spartans might meet up with Master Chief and they go and tear shit up. It doesn't directly affect the main campaign what Chief is doing. I don't know why Sledgehammer Games, or not just Sledgehammer Games, but Infinity War, the Call of Duty devs had Warzone, a separate game mode that not everyone plays, by the way, or pays attention to, by the way, directly affect the main campaign, a separate fucking game mode in Call of Duty. People dying, alliances, shifts and whatnot, like it's all affected. And basically, it's just I don't know. Basically, it's a head scratcher. I'm not gonna lie, it is a really head scratcher. Again, as a person who just pays attention to the Call of Duty campaigns and not Warzone stuff, like I said, and that's like a fear that I have. That like I said, I'm not 100% certain that Modern Warfare 4 we're gonna get a Modern Warfare 4. Like I guess from marketing, of course, Modern Warfare 4, but like in terms of story progression, I don't know. Like I feel like Modern Warfare 3's story is legit going to finish during Warzone, during a multiplayer season of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And if we do get a Modern Warfare 4, it's just going to be an entirely different story, And like what happened in Modern Warfare 3, it finished during the season. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Just rambling along, just give you guys my thoughts and some of my fears. And that's the thing. Like Warzone came out in 2020. The integration, the Warzone story, multiplayer season storyline, or whatever, didn't get integrated into Call of Duty until after Modern Warfare 2 came out. And you know what? That's why like Modern Warfare 2019's campaign, Black Ops Cold War's campaign, and Modern Warfare 2 2022's campaign all felt completed. A full package, beginning, middle, and I personally love those campaigns, but they felt completed. Big crescendo, character development. I mean, definitely with Ghost and Soap in the second game. Like, like, yes, freaking awesome. We didn't get that, and I feel like we're going to get a brief 2-minute cutscene or whatever, 2 to 3, 4-minute cutscene of Task Force 141 killing Makarov or something. I don't know. Or it's going to be a raid or DMZ or whatever. And that's very disappointing and, very, very scary. As a person who just pays attention to the, I mean, I love multiplayer, but in terms of, storylines and characters and whatnot, just pays attention to the main base campaign side of things.
You or anybody else, Captain.
Wouldn't do you any good.
All in all, is Modern Warfare 3's campaign a bad game? I mean, IGN gave it a 4. What the GameSpot gave it a 5. In my personal opinion, no, I don't think it's bad. It's mediocre, which is, I guess, honestly, not that much better, right? Like, it's a huge disappointment, comparatively to not only the original Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, but its predecessors that just came out a few years ago, Modern Warfare 2019 and 2022 last year. It's a big disappointment. But like I said, there are good things about this campaign. Very, very, very few. Like the very first mission, Operation 627, breaking Makarov out of the prison. Like that was an amazing mission. The only 2 open combat missions that I actually enjoyed was the Captain Price one and the Soap. Those were really great. And playing as Soap in Verdansk, going to capture Makarov. That was pretty damn cool. But other than that, the story, pacing, the Warzone integration, my issues with the open combat missions, yeah, it's a giant disappointment. Not bad, but a giant mediocre disappointment of a campaign. Well, that just about does it for this rambling review of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's campaign. Thank you all for watching this, ladies and gents, everyone. Like I said, I do apologize that if what I was talking about was a little disjointed. Like I said, I did not have a script next to me, nothing on my monitor or anything like that. I was just spitting rhymes and verses out of my soul, my heart, and my brain. I just had to get it out, had to ramble, had to rant, because like I said, I love Call of Duty. It's my second favorite franchise. My number one being Halo. I've always argued that Call of Duty campaigns, I mean the game as a whole, but campaigns in particular, the overwhelming majority of them are freaking great to even amazing quality. But unfortunately, this year's campaign was a huge disappointment. It's in that mediocre to bad category, which is very unfortunate. Definitely coming off of what I thought was a great campaign, Modern Warfare 2 2022. Definitely when it comes to characters and whatnot, it was just a big disappointment. There are some stuff I didn't get to touch on that much, like how they did Shepard's character and Makarov's character. I mean, the Spark Notes version of that is, you know, back in 2009, they had one game to get Shepard's villain character right, and they did it masterfully. They have three games to get Shepard characters right in this new trilogy. I think it was done not all that well, you know. I mean, he wasn't even that prominent as a villain, as a someone to hunt out and capture. It's just or hunt out and kill. It was just whatever. He was just another, you know, just another cookie cutter whatever villain in this new trilogy. And that's the thing. I don't think the villains in this new Modern Warfare trilogy was done all that well comparatively to the originals. Like Makarov's character, he's supposed to be the ultimate villain, the threat, you know, the Joker, or Modern Warfare's version of Remendez from Black Ops. They did it very well in OG Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. We got to set up the tease at the end of Modern Warfare 2 2022. The payoff in Modern Warfare 3, not that much of a payoff. It was very lackluster. Went out with a biff. You know, it was very bad in my personal opinion. You know, remember the ad campaigns for Modern Warfare 3 back in the day? It used to turn into, you know, World War 3, and it turned into Modern Warfare 3 and Makarov's speech. That was some hype shit. We didn't get that in this game, unfortunately. So yeah, like I said, thank you all for watching this video. Sorry, I'm a little stuttery right now. Ending this video right here. The next thing on my bucket list to do is come up with another walkthrough to do, because not that much is coming out during November. I mean, we do have the Remnant DLC coming out. I'll be doing a walkthrough of that Remnant 2 DLC. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing some Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer streams, because the multiplayer is actually looking pretty freaking great. Sticking circuit great. Can't wait for that. And yeah, just be on the lookout. You know, make sure you're subscribed. Have that notification bell turned on. Make sure you set those notifications to all, ladies and gents, so you don't miss out on anything I post to this channel, from walkthroughs to let's plays and live streams and channel post updates and whatnot. So yeah, like I said, end of the video right here. Thank you all for watching this, everyone. If you guys could please leave a like on this video if you guys like what you saw. Please subscribe for more content. It helps out this channel a lot. When you do subscribe, make sure you hit that little notification bell. Like I said, set those notifications to all. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything I post to this channel. Please share my channel and my videos to all your friends, families, cats and dogs, and whoever who not. And you guys can all follow me on Twitter at Baytuh, Baytuh. I'm gonna keep saying Twitter because X is a stupid name. If you want to support me even further, you can do that by donating to my Patreon, PayPal, YouTube Super Links, leaving a tip, or becoming a YouTube member of my channel. That's patreon.com/Baytuh, Baytuh, and or paypal.me/Baytuh, Baytuh, and or through YouTube Super Links. All you have to do is click on any one of my videos to monetize, which is 99.9% of them. Then hit the little more heart thanks button and donate however much you want. But regardless how you choose to support me further, any and all donations are much appreciated and is 100% completely optional. And for the final time for this rambling review of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's campaign, my name is Malcolm, also known as Baytuh, and I will catch you guys all on whatever else I do next on the channel, which is very soon, like stream of Modern Warfare 3's campaign. Multiplayer. Jesus, I'm tired. Peace. Thank you all for watching, and I love you all.